Hello and welcome to Chair Yoga. Today's practice will involve thinking about an affirmation. I have the power. We do want to use our yoga poses to help us build strength in our bodies, strength for our daily activities that we want to continue to do. And so today's practice will focus on building that power. And as we begin our class today, we begin with the breath. So we breathe in and we breathe out. And you want to draw that breath a little deeper into the diaphragm and fully exhale out. I'm going to start today's practice with a breath practice that builds heat in the body. Building heat means that you're working some of your muscles, and the muscles are growing stronger, building that body power for us. So we'll begin with one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. Breathe first into that bottom hand, nice and deep. And then as you exhale, start at the top hand and slowly let the air out of the body, just as if you were letting air out of a balloon, very slowly. And let's do that again. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. And now to add to this practice, we're going to hold the breath for just a second, maybe 1, 2 count, at the top of the inhale and at the end of the exhale. Let's give it a try. Hold, hold, exhale slowly. Hold, hold, inhale. Hold, hold, exhale. Hold, hold. Now let's just breathe without the holding. So if you breathe in and out and you hold at the inhale, the top of the inhale, and you hold at the bottom of the exhale, you create heat. You create energy, you create power in the body. So right here, right now, we can come back to that breath. Holding at the top of the inhale, holding at the bottom of the exhale. And as you take these next 2 or 3 breaths, say to yourself, I have the power. And then just breathe. Your normal breath, your nice breath, your yoga breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. We place our hands on our hips and we lift one foot and we circle. So if you'll notice, today I have sneakers on. Often in yoga, circle the other way. Often in yoga, we use props. We use blocks and mats and blankets and straps. Let's go to the other side. One of the props in chair yoga is our sneakers. The other way. They add some sense of cushioning if your feet hurt pressing against the floor. They also add a sense of stability if you have nice support sneakers. Sitting tall, lengthen through the spine here. And then let's heel toe out, heels first, and then the toes, and then the heels. Pause in this wide-angled seat for a moment. Take a couple breaths. And then we'll heel toe them back in. Back to our mountain, bringing arms down at our side. Let's roll our shoulders around. Just getting into the body a little bit here. Noticing how our joints feel. Let's go in the other direction. And then circle the wrists. And circle those in the other direction. And then let's rest the hands and turn the head. Notice if there's any creaking in the neck. Only go to a turn that is comfortable for you. We just want to warm up the neck. We want to let those muscles know that it's time to get to work here today. And we come back to center. We take the hands at our side, sitting tall, drawing that breath in as we lift the arms up. Wiggle your fingers and exhale down. Let's do that 2 more times. Notice that your breath is longer now. Deeper inhale, longer exhale. Focusing on the breath. Good. So in the chair, we're going to do some hip circles. So we want to take the feet apart a little bit, turn the toes out, and then we lean forward and shift our weight over to one hip, lean back a little bit, roll over to the other hip, and then come forward. See if you can make that a continuous circle. Using the core muscles here to help hold you in the chair as you do this. Building power in our core. And let's come up, take a breath. We'll go in the other direction. So we lean forward, go in the opposite direction. Drawing the belly in as you lean back. Letting that engagement of the body hold you steady in your chair. One more time, all the way around. And now I'm going to stand for part of our practice today. You're welcome to stay in the chair. If you stay in the chair and we do a warrior pose, please look to the split screen so that you can see what warrior looks like in the chair. Feet together, use your glutes, use your arms, come up out of the chair and stand in your mountain. And then make your way behind your chair. I'm going to have my chair in front of me and a little off to the side. You can have your chair right in front of you. And we stand once again in a tall mountain now on our mats. Feet just a slightly apart so that the ankles are under your hips. And let's take a couple breaths here. So we inhale those hands up. And this time bring them forward as you come down, fingertips up, as if you were painting the wall or cleaning a glass surface. And let's do again, out to the side as we inhale. Exhale as we bring them forward and down. Beautiful. Oh, so nice to be able to do yoga in a mindful manner and build that strength in our bodies. And then stand tall in your mountain. So building power, having power, also can mean making the right decisions. So is it right for you to stand and do these poses, or is it right for you to sit in the chair? That's pretty simple. Let's take our hands onto our back. Now, if you're in the chair, you're going to do those hip circles like we did before. If you're standing, slightly bend your knees, push the hips forward, shift the weight into one foot. Hips go back as we rotate that weight into the other leg. And just keep going in circles like this. And also having the power means to maybe step away from that second or third snack and do some yoga, right? And having the power is to do the yoga on a regular basis. Let's go in the other direction now. Having power to make decisions, know what's right for you. And if you're making decisions, that also includes the right to say yes or no. The power to do that. And then stand tall and bring your feet parallel. and breathe. So our first power pose today is going to be our warrior one. So we stand facing the short edge of our mat and our feet come apart. So we slide one foot back and turn the toes out towards the side of your mat just a little bit. Put a bend in that front knee. It could be a slight bend or a bigger bend, but wherever you're bending, you don't want to bring the knee too far forward, so you want a little bit of an angle here in that thigh. I'm going to turn my whole body towards that front knee. And then drawing in the belly again so that I feel the strength in my core. I can keep my hands on my hips, I can have them in front of my heart, or we could draw them up over our head. Now here in this pose called Warrior One, we build strength. We draw up from the bottom of the pelvic area, pulling those lower abs in, lifting the ribs. And as we lift the ribs, maybe we could lift our gaze slightly upward. And when we do that, maybe our shoulders can come down the back a little bit more. So wherever you're at, you stand in power here, making the decision of how to move in your pose that's best for you. So now we're going to float those hands parallel to the floor, right out in front of you. Release the shoulders if you've brought them up towards the ears. And we're going to take that hand on the side where the foot's in the back. We're going to make a nice strong fist and draw that fist so that it brushes our ribs. And as it brushes our ribs, we turn a little bit. And then we release it forward. It's called draw back your bow. If you've ever done any arrow shooting, you know how hard it is to draw back the bow. It takes a lot of power. Pause here, place the hands on the knees, and then we're going to straighten that leg and turn that back foot out a little bit more so that we can turn our hips to the long edge of our mat. With both knees just a slight bend, we're going to take that hand of the front knee, slide it down our leg. We can be on the top of the leg like this, on the inside or on the outside of the leg. This back arm is going to come to rest on our back so that we can draw that shoulder back and stack our shoulders into pyramid pose or triangle pose. Another nice strong pose, building strength in the body. And as you hold here, think about drawing this leg in, drawing it into the hip, pushing the hips back and up a little bit as you lean out over the leg. Now again, the chair is available to you, and it would be one of your hands on the chair as you lean over that leg. Make sure that your breath is nice and even here. Feel the strength coming up from earth into the legs, into the hips, into the torso. Another breath here, and then we'll bend this front knee once again and release our bodies towards that. Maybe adjust that back foot again and bring the hands up. Breathe in, breathe out. And then release the hands down. And we're going to take the back foot and step it in. So reach for your chair, step that back foot in, and come to your mountain pose. And then we'll separate the feet nice and wide here. And we'll bring the arms nice and wide right out of our shoulders. Maybe the hands are a little above the shoulders. They could be even with the shoulders. Star pose. And even here, star shining bright in the sky has power, the power of light. You have the power of light within you. Let it shine. And then we'll exhale and we'll release those hands down. And then we'll turn now to the other side, bending the other leg. And the back leg is back and the foot is on the floor. I know you can't see my foot because of the chair, but I want to keep my chair nice and handy in case I need it, right? So I'll show you where my foot is, then we'll bring the chair back so I have the chair available to me. And then we turn the hips. So that back foot might have to adjust a little bit so that we are supported. And our hips face the short end of your mat. And the hands can be here. They can be up over your head. They could be in front of your heart. And you stand in Warrior One, strong and powerful. Feeling that energy rise up from the base of the pelvic all the way up. Pushing the feet strongly into the floor and making sure that front knee is facing the toes. Breathe in and breathe out. And then on your next exhale, lower the hands parallel to the floor. And the hand that the foot is in the back, that hand's going to make a nice strong fist. Brush against your ribs and release it. 3 more times. The bottom part of the body does not move. We're twisting in the ribs. 1 more. And release it. Hands can come up. Nice big breath. Look up. Open up through the chest now. Drop the shoulders down your back. And then exhale and release the hands down. And if you can, from here, pivot into that star position. Or move however you can into star. Legs straight, arms can be here, shoulders down. So even though we bring the arms up, we want to counter that with the shoulders dropping down our back. And on an exhale, we release the arms and we yoga walk, heel toe, into our mountain pose. Standing strong. And now the next strength power building pose is just crunches. Now you can do them on the floor. You could lie on your bed and do these also. So standing, they look like this. We bring our outside arm away from the chair. We bring it into an L shape or a goddess shape. And then the leg that's opposite that arm, we lift that knee up and we bring the elbow and knee to the center of the body. And then we lower them down. Now the more you bring this leg up, if you only bring it up a little, that's okay. You're still working those core muscles. But the higher you bring it up, the more you work those core muscles. So work towards that. If today you're here, and tomorrow you're here, and next week perhaps you're here. Yeah, using the chair for stability. Exhaling as you lift, inhaling as you release. Going slow. So this also can build our balance a little bit. I'm sure you're feeling that. But if you let go of the chair, you'll feel it even more. I only advise this if you feel nice and steady. And release. Now I'm going to switch my chair over. How you doing? I hope that this is making you feel warm. It's making me feel warm today. Here we go, other side. And we lift and bring it to the center and then back and down. So we're pulling the top part of the body to the center and rounding a little in the back. And we're pulling the knee up to crunch in the abs. So we're really working a lot of muscles in the core body here. Now again, if you want to, work on that balance. Be mindful your chair is right there for you. You might hover the hand to do that. I find putting my hand on my hip reminds me to ground down and lift at the same time. And come to mountain. Pause and breathe here. Very, very nice. So now we're going to come into the chair again. So bring your chair back on in. Come to the front of your chair. And with strength, we're going to squeeze our glutes, pull our belly in, keep our spine safe, pushing our hips back as we come into the chair. How did you do? Did you get into that chair? Sometimes when we're doing that, if we want to put a hand back there so we make sure that the chair is there as we lower ourselves down, that's also very good practice to do, sitting tall in the chair. We're going to separate those feet again, and we're going to drop a shoulder into the center. As you do that, you pull the ribs up and pull the belly in. Pulling the ribs up makes space for the belly to come in on your crunches, continuing to build that power in our core. Dropping one shoulder forward and then the opposite shoulder forward. Let's do it 3 more times. Here we go. Breathing nice and evenly here. Here's our last one right here. And we sit tall. We heel toe the feet in. We take a nice deep breath. Exhale the hands down. And let's heel toe those feet apart, working the ankles a little more. And now taking another twist, we place opposite hand to the opposite knee or outside of the thigh. Lean into it a little bit, so make sure you're far enough back in your chair for support. Feet stay on the floor. So if you're pushing back in your chair and your feet don't reach the floor, grab a blanket, a pillow, or put shoes on so that you can reach the floor with the feet. Take the other hand out and twist in the ribs, and that hand comes up a little bit, and then we stack the shoulders. And right here we can hold this pose, anchoring with the opposite hand on the opposite leg. Tucking the chin and looking off to that side. And then to deepen the twist, maybe we twist a little more and we look up at that thumb out of the corner of our eye. You can tell here how the breathing starts to get a little more challenging. Only stay as long as you can breathe. And then on an exhale, you release and untwist slowly, mindfully, bringing the arm down. How did that feel? I always love twists, so we're going to do it on the other side now. We lean a little forward, we take the other hand out, and we lift. And we start out slowly, lifting and turning and twisting and drawing the shoulder back before we try to bring that arm up too high. And then once our back is twisted and our belly is twisted, maybe we look up at our thumb, working a little into the neck. Be mindful if you feel dizzy or uncomfortable with this or any pain for sure, you just come out of this pose immediately and sit in mountain. Take a couple more breaths here. Exhale slowly, head first. Hand comes down slowly, and we look forward. And we heel toe in. Mountain in the chair, our hands down along our side. And we take 3 nice deep breaths into the belly. And this time, let's sigh them out the mouth. You might feel a little heat there in the breath. That's a good thing. One more. Let me hear that sigh all the way here. And then place your hands on your lap for our Shavasana. And we pause, comfortable in our position here. Torso nice and tall. Maybe we tuck the elbows in towards the body. And then maybe you look down or close your eyes and you say to yourself, I have the power. And you can feel that power through the heat of your body, the strength of your poses. And bring the hands together and rub the palms and hover them over your eyes. Once again, feeling the heat. And if nothing else, feel the light that's in you. And the light in me recognizes the light in you. So open your eyes, bring the hands to the heart, and say with me, Namaste. Join me again for another practice of chair yoga. Have a great day.